You're welcome to this class, students. In our last class, we talked about courage. There we got the definition of courage. We made mention of the types of courage, and we also made mention of the attributes of a courageous person. But today, we'll be talking about leadership and followership 1. So by the end of today's class, I expect you to define leadership and followership. I expect you to also state the types of leadership and followership. You're also expected to state the advantages and the disadvantages of the various types of leadership. So pay attention while the class goes on. Leadership is one of the most important needs in any organization. The success or failure of any organization depends on the style of its leadership. There is no organization without objectives. To achieve these objectives, the leader needs to win the support of others, and that is the followers. This is a way to achieve the goals of the organization and state. Leadership is the position of being the leader of a group, organization, political party, country, and the list goes on. Leadership can also be described as a process of social influence in which a person with the support of other people, that is the followers, accomplishes a common task. Every organization needs a leader at every level. Of course, when we have leaders, we also have followers. We now move over to followership. What is followership? Or who is a follower? That is what we want to find out now. Followership is the willingness to follow a leader and adhere to the directives of the leader. A follower is a person who admires, believes, and supports a particular person, that is the leader. Supports an idea or the system of the leader. A follower is a supporter who has been influenced by a leader towards obtaining a particular result. The influence of a follower by any leader depends on the leader's personal qualities, the demand of the situation, or a combination of these and other factors. Let's talk about the various types of leadership we have today. First on the list for today, we have autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership. Let's find out what it entails. Autocratic leadership is a dictatorial type of leadership in which a single person makes the entire decision. This type of leadership is not the best because it causes or leads to a feeling of unhappiness in any community or organization. In this type of leadership, everything that needs to be done, when it will be done, how it will be done, is the entire responsibility of the leader. Let's move over to the advantages of autocratic leadership. First, it permits quick decision making. Since consultation is not necessary, the leader can easily take swift decisions. Secondly, it can be used for the completion of routine or unskilled tasks. And again, it is a strict form of control since obedience is compulsory. We move over to the disadvantages of autocratic leadership. Disadvantages of autocratic leadership. 1. It does not allow creativity because the leader depends on his idea alone. Secondly, the entire responsibility rests solely on the leader. He has to make the decision, he has to organize everything that is necessary. And again, generally it does not benefit the people because decisions are just taken quickly, not considering the feelings of the people, and it is also undemocratic. At this point, we want to talk about democratic leadership, democratic style of leadership. But I would love you to watch this video to get a better understanding of democratic leadership and also laissez-faire leadership. I'll be back in a while.
Leaders exercise their authority in a variety of different ways. The way that leaders choose to show their power and authority is described as a leadership style. Leadership styles relate to the way that a leader behaves and the way that the functions of leadership are carried out. First up, there is democratic leadership. This is a type of leadership style in which members of the group are involved in the decision-making process. An example of this is allowing employees to vote on decisions that are being made. There are many advantages of democratic leadership, such as employees being better prepared for a promotion, because they have already had to make harder decisions. As well as this, employees are more able to accept changes within the organization, as they are aware of why changes are being made, due to being involved in the decision-making process. Some of the disadvantages of democratic leadership include issues like the time it may take for a decision to be made, or that a strong leader is often needed to lead a discussion between staff members, so that there is clear communication of ideas. Next up is autocratic leadership, also known as authoritarian leadership, which is a leadership style where one person has control over all decisions and where there is little input from group members. Autocratic leaders typically make choices based on their ideas and judgments and rarely accept advice from employees in the organization. Some of the advantages of autocratic leadership styles include that decisions can be made quickly due to managers making all the decisions. As well as this, employees have clear instructions on what needs to be done and the requirements needed, which can improve efficiency within the business. Some of the disadvantages of autocratic leadership include issues such as employees' creativity and ideas being ignored. As well as this, employees may start to feel demotivated because they are not getting to share their ideas or take on any responsibility. Lastly, there is laissez-faire leadership, also known as delegative leadership, is a type of leadership style in which leaders are hands-off and allow group members to make the decisions. Researchers have found that this is generally the leadership style that leads to the lowest productivity among employees and is often ineffective. Some of the advantages of laissez-faire leadership are that employees are likely to feel empowered and motivated by the responsibility being given to them. As well as this, it increases the chances of innovation if employees feel confident and are not being micromanaged. Some of the disadvantages of laissez-faire leadership include issues such as employees feeling under pressure if they are not being supported when having to make important decisions. This often leads to employees feeling demotivated and stressed. As well as this, it may not be clear who is responsible, which could lead to a decision not being made. You might ask, which leadership style is the most effective? This answer usually depends on the type of business. For example, a business that is trying to survive and needs to make quick decisions is likely to need an autocratic leader. However, a lot of businesses are moving towards a more democratic approach to leadership. This is due to increased competition in most industries, meaning that businesses need to be innovative when making key decisions.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed watching the animated video. In today's class, we've seen the meaning of leadership, knowing that it is one of the most important needs of any organization. We've seen that leadership is the position of being the leader of a group, organization, political party, and the list goes on. We've also seen the meaning of followership, and we've talked about the different types of leadership we have today: autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. So please, looking at the screen, there are some questions that are showing on the screen, the evaluation questions or the leading questions. So the first one says, what is leadership? The second, what is followership? And the third one, state and explain the types of leadership. Finally, state the advantages and the disadvantages of each style of leadership discussed. Please put down these answers inside your notebook and we'll discuss them in class. Do have a nice day. Bye.